Shalom from under the dome. Sometimes being a geek can put you on the fringes of society. Granted, it's not as bad as it was, say, in like the 80s. Thank you, Marvel movies, for that. You can actually have a conversation with someone about Batman or Star Wars or time travel. Sometimes all three in the same sentence. This guy. And you can do this without them thinking that you're a total loser. And some of them might actually think you're pretty cool. Well, foolish. Then you want to do something crazy like bring your faith into it and your pool sample starts to get smaller. There are some online communities that combine faith and geekdom together. Some are good and some not so much. But then you take your faith seriously and your pool sample starts to get even smaller. Then you realize that you actually love the Father and Yeshua so much that you actually want to keep their commandments, including the Sabbath, and you find that your pool sample is now a puddle sample. A lot of fan conventions happen over the weekend. We just had one here not too long ago, and one of the meet and greets was Daredevil and Kingpin. Dude, right? Am I right? However, they were only appearing on the Sabbath. So let's see what scripture says. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of Yahweh your Elohim. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore Yah blessed the seventh day and hallowed it. That's Exodus 20, 8 through 11. That seems pretty straightforward. We are to keep the Sabbath holy, which means set apart, and no work, nor make anyone else work. So we have a stranger, a guest, coming into our gates, our town, and signing autographs and taking pictures. We are not to participate in that. If he wants to do that, that's between him and the Most High, but we're not to participate. I know you're not making Comic-Con come to your town, so you're not technically making them work. Okay, but that's like saying that I can take that guy's wallet because I'm not the one that killed him. He was already dead, and he doesn't need his wallet anymore. It's wrong. Don't do it. Look, I get it. Missing Kingpin and Daredevil sucks. But this is what I've learned by following Yah. If the majority of people, or everyone, was obeying the Father, then they wouldn't even be open. There would be no point in opening because we'd all be in obedience. So let's flip that. Since they are open, then they're in disobedience, and they're trying to get you to be in disobedience. 1 Samuel 15:22 says, "Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice." Micah 6:8 says, "He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth Yahweh require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God." He wants obedience. One of the things that I like about smaller towns in Utah, and even Chick-fil-A, is that they're closed on Sundays. It's the wrong day, it's not the Sabbath, but they are walking out their convictions. Now, if we could just get them to keep the right day. Because man, I want those waffle fries on the weekend. I can't have them. My family, we keep the Sabbath. And they take Sunday off. Don't get off Yah's schedule. It's literally in the beginning of the book. When you get off Yah's schedule, people don't get waffle fries. Think about that.
Think about that.
There are a dozen or so commands to keep the Sabbath in the OT. And in the NT, we see the disciples, the followers of Yeshua, including Paul, observing the Sabbath several times. In contrast, do not murder is only mentioned like 4 times in the entire Bible. This just shows how important the Sabbath is to him. In Nehemiah 13, it says, "And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut, and charged that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day. So the merchants and sellers of all kind of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. Then I testified against them and said unto them, Why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you. From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath. This is Nehemiah 13:19 through 21. Nehemiah wasn't messing around. He shut down Jerusalem before the Sabbath so people couldn't go in and set up shop. He was even threatening them, you best get out of here before you catch these hands. My man, right? So Comic Cons, sporting events, travel, anything that could cause you to work or make others work is forbidden. So what does the Sabbath look like for geeks? Ideally, you'd be in a community surrounded by like-minded believers, getting together to worship a little, read some scripture and fellowship, talk about the latest Marvel movie or whatever. A lot of us aren't in a place where we can have that. So for this geek, my family will listen to some worship music, we'll watch a teaching, usually truth unedited. We play some board games. We just got this new one called Photosynthesis, and you grow crops and stuff. It's pretty cool. We play video games. My son and I will play Mario or Minecraft. We go for walks. We basically spend time with Yah and as a family. Now, I don't stop being a geek because it's Sabbath. However, I do stop and rest because it is Sabbath. We have to put Him first in everything. Stop seeking your own pleasure, because if we don't, then we risk being cut off. And I can tell you straight up that I have no desire for that. What events have you had to miss for Sabbath? Drop your stories in the comments. I know that I'm not the only Torah-observing geek here. So remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Until next time, Yah bless. Shalom.